Hold tight. Excuse me. Hold tight with Mr. DJ because this is going to be a bit disjointed. And song at number 40. It was a huge hit. Spring of 1983. Toto, I Won't Hold You Back. Up 10 from number 50 on my fantasy playlist of March 18th, 1983. Not a big Toto fan. But I've always been fascinated by their history because I've heard that they were session musicians. They played on albums by Steely Dan, at least Jeff Porcaro, I might be mispronouncing their last names, but Jeff Porcaro had played drums with Steely Dan. Session musicians. All these guys were session musicians. They played on Silk Degrees by Boz Scaggs. A breakthrough album by Boz Scaggs. Had some minor things earlier in the 70s, Boz Scaggs, and then, God, in summer of 1976, he had that huge hit with Low Down. Low Down was co-written. It was written by Boz Scaggs and David, I believe it's David Page is how you pronounce it. Paich. One of the founding members of Toto. And I checked his pronunciation, his last name, and a YouTube video said it was pronounced as David Page, so I pronounce it as Page. I thought it was like Patch or something like that, but it's Page, I guess. But anyway, David Page, he co-wrote Lowdown. He co-wrote Lido Shuffle, which was another massive hit from the Silk Degrees album. That was back in the spring, early summer of 1977. David Page co-wrote that. All these guys, it was David Page, Jeff Porcaro, David Hungate. They brought in David Hungate. David Hungate, he was in Bob Hungate, bass player. I believe his bass guitar player, session vet. He was in Boz Scaggs' backing band. He played in Boz Scaggs' band, and he played on Alice Cooper's, one of Alice Cooper's albums. It was called From the Inside. Alice Cooper, this was back when Alice Cooper did all those slow records back in the late 70s. As a matter of fact, that album was produced by David Foster, not necessarily associated with hard rock, David Foster. Of course, the big hit off that album by Alice Cooper, How You Gonna See Me Now, but David Hungate played on sessions on that album. These guys were all over the place. They were very talented. Steve Lukather, another member of Toto, played in Bob Scaggs' band. And by the way, all these guys, I'm not sure about Hungate, but I know Lukather and Steve Porcaro, Jeff Porcaro's brother, all went to the same high school in Southern California. It was called Grant High School. These guys knew each other. They were all session musicians. When Jeff Porcaro and David Page, they formed Toto around 1976, 1977, somewhere in there, and then they came out with that first album in 1978, Hold the Line, in the fall of 78. But the song that I really got into by Toto, You Supplied the Night, Baby, and I'll Supply the Love, that was pop perfection, but did not make top 40. Only got as high as 41. I thought that was one of Toto's finest moments. They came out with an album. Didn't do too well. It was called Turn Back. It was disappointing. It might have been the runner-up to their first album, or it might have been, I think it was their third album. The record companies, they were putting the heat on Toto. They said, guys, we need a hit album. We need some hits. That's all there is to it. Hit records, they run the business, baby. All that change, all that money. And boy, they delivered. There was Rosanna. Rosanna was brilliant. And Africa. God. I loved Africa. Until it got overplayed. And then I Won't Hold You Back. Went to number 10 on Billboard's Hot 100. Song was written by Steve Lukather. It was written by Steve Lukather. And this is what I found out about Steve Lukather. Now, he played on Thriller by Michael Jackson. And he played guitar on Beat It. Not the blistering guitar solo that Eddie Van Halen, he just blew that one away. But he did play guitar on that record, Beat It. And Steve Lukather, he's been on albums, played sessions on albums by Richard Marx, Lionel Richie. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm not even giving you the whole I mean, full scale. I'm not giving you the whole. I'm trying to 5-star meal, I guess. I can't come up with a better word right now. That's what you get when you try to ad lib. I'm getting it down though, slowly but surely. Steve Lukather. Oh God, you're not gonna believe this. I was thrilled when I found this out. He played a guitar solo. Remember that hard guitar solo in Physical by Olivia Newton-John, 1981? He played a guitar solo, Steve Lukather of Toto. Another on Beat It, Steve Porcaro was on Beat It too, the song Beat It. He played synthesizer. He was in charge of synthesizer programming on the song Beat It by Michael Jackson. I mean, these guys, you know, I'm just, wow. I'm just going to leave it at that. I think I covered everything for you here. Maybe for myself. I'm trying to learn all this. I hope you're learning along with me as well. Well, it's Toto with I Won't Hold You Back at number 40. Fantasy playlist of March 18th, 1983.